Rolling right along. Time to welcome in the studio Patrick Gremion, host of the Patty G Show, who's out dressing me today down to the pocket square and everything. What's happening, dude?
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
Sometimes you just gotta take it up a notch, you know.
You did take it up a notch.
So-
Look, it's the week between Christmas and New Year, man. I'm like, the fact that I'm here is plenty.
Yeah, and see, this is one of our busiest times towards the end of the year, right?
Well, in accounting, sure.
Like getting ready for 2022, like getting everybody
getting ready for
making
2023.
Sure.
Let's be a good accountant here, Patrick.
See what kind of year it's been.
Devils in the details, my man.
But yeah, just doing some year-end wrap, getting those last charitable contributions and all that, getting the final bills paid and everything, and
yes,
we're going crazy this time of year.
Well, imagine. Yes, it is a busy time to be sure. We're going to put a button on 2022 as far as the business world is concerned. You had shared an article with me earlier in the week that I can't let go of. It is, these buzzwords show how work changed in 2022. And I was like, you know what? This is the topic. The whole segment, this is the topic. Because there was so much meat on this bone, I could not let go of it. A few of the buzzwords, or buzz terms, not words, but buzz terms of 2022. I think my favorite is the first one they went with: return to office.
Yeah. So I want to, so we can go through all these, but I also want to get maybe from your take other buzzwords you've heard throughout the year that have resonated with you.
Okay. Well, let's get to the ones that they have.
The return to work. Or
return to office.
Return to office. There it is. I was about to say it's RTO. Where's the W coming in from? So yeah, the RTO. We, going into COVID, figured out that hybrid work model. We've been doing it for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Some people are still, I know people who have been working at a job for 6 to 8 months and have never stepped foot in the office.
Right.
They did the interview remotely. They did a second interview remotely. They got their offer remotely. They signed it remotely. And now they've been working from their home for almost a year remotely. Mm-hmm. They have never stepped foot in the office. They don't even know where the office is to an extent.
Right.
And that type of work model became so prevalent within COVID, and it's just carried forward. And some businesses have thrived in it. Some people have thrived in it. They've loved being able to kind of work around their own schedule. But in 2022, a lot of employers started saying, you know what? We need to put a halt to that.
So where is the sweet spot for the employer? Because if not everyone can work under those circumstances, if not everyone can work from home, if not everyone is productive from the house as they should be, do you have blanket rules that says no, because we have these people who fall behind, everybody has to be back in?
So I'm going to say what we do at the office, which I think is kind of a good little bridge to that hybrid work model, is you have to give at least 24-hour notice if you're going to work from home.
Okay.
Meaning you can't wake up that morning and be hungover and say, oh, I got to work from home, X, Y, and Z reason or whatnot. You have to let us know in advance, I need to work from home. And you don't necessarily need to give a reason, but it's then taken on a case-by-case basis whenever we say, everybody, you've got to be in the office, but if you need to work from home, give us 24 hours notice. So if you've got clients coming in, if we had meetings scheduled that day, we can adjust if necessary. So allowing people to work from home with notice, but asking that everybody be in the office as much as possible.
How's it work with a sick kid?
That's where you have exceptions, case-by-case basis.
Yes.
You text them, hey, I'm in the doctor's office this morning. My kid woke up with 103 degrees fever, throwing up, whatever it may be. Then that's an understanding. That's not a situation where people can kind of pull that, oh yeah, I woke up this morning throwing up, boss, not feeling good, not coming in, and then they see him out at lunch with friends.
Yeah, and it's the oversight or the follow-up, the management of this is different because managers are going to over micromanage because because of the distance. There's still the impression that if you're in the building, you're actually doing the work. Maybe not.
Really,
maybe you're getting more work done because you're physically present, or maybe you've got a West Wing marathon going on HBO Max. Like,
yeah, if you got your iPhone set up on a stand, you've got an AirPod in, you're watching something, and then all of a sudden the boss walks behind you, and you're now so watching it, you're kicked back in your chair, and you're straight up just watching an HBO Max show.
Right.
But it still has a little bit of older school bosses that like to see people at their desk.
Right.
It brings them some assurance that work's getting done. But to follow through with that from not being so micromanaging, having those check-ins like we discussed, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, where you have that employee come in with a sheet of tasks they've been working on, projects they've been working on, and you check in with them and see how it's going.
Next term up, probably everybody's favorite and least favorite term of 2022. Employee disengagement. Oh, wait, no, that's not the term. Quiet quitting is the term. So we finally put a moniker on this. It's been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
I mean, look, how long did it take me to get you to see the movie Office Space?
I think years.
Yeah.
At least a couple of years.
Yeah, at least 2, maybe more. Here's the thing. He was quiet quitting, and that movie's from the 90s. Like, that was quiet quitting. That was, I get here 15 minutes late. It looks like I'm working. I play solitaire at my desk for a while. I know when the boss is walking by, and I can minimize other windows to open up the window that makes it look like I'm working. And in a given week, I'll do about 15 minutes worth of actual work. That's been a thing for a long time now. We just finally have a term for it.
Well, and I think there's always been a term for it, like you were saying, employee disengagement. But do you think within 2022 we felt the need to come up with a phrase that could connect with people where they kind of started feeling a little bit more? I feel that's kind of started to happen too. We're started to take things that have been happening and just recoin the phrase or rewrite out the phrase when it's been doing the same thing all along.
And the term quiet quitting, I guess it's kind of grown in popularity as a term simply because the labor shortage we're seeing right now, you're putting a target on your own back to be gone. Like, there's somebody else, or there's nobody else that wants your job. So if you're quiet quitting, you should be gone. I just can't get rid of you right now.
Yeah, and that's the trouble that bosses are facing is they can't fire you because they need a warm body to at least do something. You know, even 15 minutes of work a week that you're doing is better than no minutes of work a week. It is fascinating about the work shortage situation that's happening. I was reading an article yesterday saying that the accounting industry has seen a 20% decline in graduates and people going to work in the field since 2019.
Interesting. Wonder why that is.
Who knows?
It's a business that's recession proof.
It is. They attribute it to the long hours you work during tax season and the inflexible our schedule can be at times. So people are looking to change from accounting to finance, where they can have a little bit more flexibility, they can a little bit more work from home, and just not ultimately be within the accounting career. But yeah, it's a recession-proof business. We've had that conversation many a times at the firm where we may not get your work done today because you can't afford it, but you still got to get your tax return filed. It may just be next week, next month, whenever.
He's Patrick Grimion, host of the Patty G Show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got to stack more of these terms, and apparently Patrick is going to hit me with a few of the ones that I might like. As we go into break, I want to toss one more out to you that I hadn't heard up until very, very recently. Productivity paranoia. Now, this is going to go back to the working from home thing, but hold on to it. We'll talk about it during the break. We'll talk about it when we come back. We do have to check